Hi, this is a quick video on how to be harvesting all the writing you've been doing in the last few weeks to create your draft in a fairly easy way. So one of the things to think about from chapter 7 was thinking about synthesis. Hey audience, why should you care? So you want to talk about the specific problem that you're attempting to address with your comparison of your sources in the introduction of your paper. You want to make sure that your audience understands why this problem is relevant to them and what makes it worth addressing. And you want to make sure that your synthesis, your comparison of the sources sufficiently addresses the problem. So you need to make sure that you're citing specific passages from the essay in your answer. Does that sound a lot like what you were doing in the Rogerian worksheet and in the most recent blog postings? Why, yes, it does. You can use that information there. In addition, the next thing you want to say is, hey audience, what do you need to know? You want to make sure that you're clear on how you're synthesizing all of these sources, how you're bringing them all together and using evidence from the literature. Now when we say the literature, I'm not talking about Shakespeare or Chaucer or whatever. I'm talking about, well, in the business what we do is we call all the stuff that's been written about something the literature. It's a common genre, in fact. The people will go out and collect everything that's been written about something and synthesize it, and that's called a literature review, and it's a common thing that people write up and want to read. Remember, at the end of your essay, you want to say, okay, hey audience, here are my parting thoughts. And you want to talk about what conclusions you can draw from your analysis. You're the one who's bringing all of this together and creating a new way to see this. And you want to make sure that your answer matches all of the things that you've talked about from all your sources. Now remember that you can also talk about your own experience in this. And that would be the one place in a research report where you can use the word I. So lest you think I'm making this up, I want to give you an example from the most recent news feed that I was looking at and look at how they organized it. So this is from the Aussie News Briefing, and let's look at how they organized their research report. Now it's very, very succinct, so it's not going to be as long as in-depth as yours. But what they did was first they started out with, why should you care? They tell you what happened. They say, here's why it matters, and who was involved. This is pretty similar to what you're going to want to talk about. What is the problem? What is the context of the problem? Why you should care, and who the principal actors are. And then they say what you should know, and they bring out the specific facts that are really worth knowing. Who's to blame? We got a problem with the motive. There were people involved who were working to help each other. What's Washington, D.C. doing about this? And then they give you the big picture. This is the larger part of the synthesis, where you take all of these things that you've been talking about and you say, look, here's how I want to present to you the most important ideas. They give you some advice on what to read. They give you some advice on what to watch. And in the end, they give you their parting thoughts. And this is something that you'll be doing also in your conclusion, and it's generally your call to action. So what's important to know from that is the way that they've structured the situation for you. Now, the next thing that you can do is in the draft in your portfolio or in whatever document that you use to do this, you want to type in your section headers. You remember the section headers from the Aussie news thing, which was why should you care, what happened, who was the shooter. You can use the Aussie ones. You can use your Rogerian worksheet. That also has headers on it. You can use the organization from chapter 7 in MindTap if you want to do that, or you can make up an organization of headers based out of your just current informed intuition. But let's take a look at what the section headers look like in MLA format. So I have to bring it up here really quickly. What does the owl at Purdue say about this? In the general formatting style guide, Please hold. Do not adjust your set while I make this the right size. Come on, get in here. There we are. So here's MLA general format. And if we scroll down past all the general format, here's where it talks about section headings. So section headings in MLA format are numbered, and they don't have to be complete phrases. 1, 2, 3, 4, and you're probably going to have, you might have 5, but this is how you want to be able to chunk the topics of your essay in a way to help your reader make sense of it. So that's how you do section headers in MLA format. Now, you're going to make this skeleton by putting in your section headers. Once you've got your section headers, then begin the copying and pasting. Go to your annotated bibliography, paste that into your draft, pull out all of the citations to make your work cited, pull out all the annotations and put them into the correct place in the section headers that you've just created. You might copy and paste things from your Rogerian argument chart, because a lot of those look really good. You might also look in at the, oh no, you have not been doing quizzes, so ignore that, but you might go into the blogs and take a look at the blogs to see, there's like the writing for yesterday's blog. You could absolutely paste that straight into your document as well. And no, that's it. So the blogs and the argument chart and the annotated bibliography are places where you've been writing for this. So just put it all in, paste it in, use this stuff that you've already written. So by next Wednesday, there are no classes on Monday or Tuesday in case you're taking any face-to-face classes. They're reading days. So post the draft of your research report on the draft page of your portfolio tab in the tab titled Research Report, and also submit the draft through the Blackboard link in Research Report. And as ever, remember, do not struggle in confusion for more than about 10 minutes. Send me an email, and I will do my best to get back to you as soon as I can to answer any questions.